Welcome back, and today I'm going to deal with the old style Windows command prompt. Yes, I know that you now have PowerShell that came out in 2006, the updated Windows Terminal which made its debut in 2019, and this command prompt came out originally in 1987. But it's still one of my favorites, and not all my clients have Windows Terminal installed, so I often revert to the Windows command prompt. But its default is rather bland. Right click on Start, and if you have command prompt pinned, you can start it from there, or if you click on Start, begin by typing command. Once you see it pop up, you can run as administrator if you right click on it, or you can just run it manually. Now as you can see here, I've changed my background to a blue. If you want to change things permanently, just right click on the title bar at the top here, select your defaults, and here's where you would change whatever setting you want to change. Now, all of these are pretty self-explanatory. So I'm not going to go into this in detail because you can go through these tabs whether you want to change the standard options, whether you want to change the font sizes, font types, windows, the layout, whether you have more buffered or whether you want a wider screen, larger, whatever the case is. All of these settings you can change just using the options that are listed there. The setting that I really want to change at this point is the standard setting where the command prompt at the top here is your title. So if we type title, we can name this whatever we want to call it. Just say, for example, in this case, we want to name it Steve's Commands. And there we go. At the very top left-hand corner, you can see that the title's changed. The problem with this is, anytime you make changes like that, when you reload the command prompt, it resets it. So everything's back to where it was. Same thing with color. Or if you want to change the prompt, you can also change the prompt to, say, whatever. So there we have our prompt actually now says Steve. And if you want to put the prompt back to its default, simply type prompt without anything after it, and it'll put it back to what the system considers the default prompt. If you need help on any of this stuff, you can go prompt / and it'll give you all the different variables that you can use to create your own particular prompt that you might want to say use. One of the things that I have done on several computers is I would do this. I will change the title to hello and the prompt to that. So I've got the day, the date, and the time all listed on the screen, and then the actual location that I'm in. Now for some people that might be too long and it can cause a problem, but it's whatever suits your fancy. Again, once you close it and you reopen the command prompt, you can see everything's back to the defaults, which isn't always ideal. So here's what this video is really dealing with, is how do we get those settings to stick so that every time we open up the command prompt, it has the title and it has the layout that we actually want. It does involve a registry hack. So click on Start and begin by typing reg, and you get into the registry editor. The specific location that we want to go to is in the current user. If we change the current user, we're not affecting the entire system, only the current logged on user. So if multiple people use your computer, or if you have a separate admin account on your computer, you can certainly have that set as the default in case something goes wrong. So if you open up HKey current user, go into software, then once you're in software, look for Microsoft, expand Microsoft, and you're looking for a particular entry in here called command processor. If it's not there, you can create it. To create a new entry, all you have to do is click on the top level. In this case, we want Microsoft because the command processor is right below Microsoft. You can right click and go new, and we want a new key. So in this key, we're going to type command processor. So now we have our new key. Make sure it's selected, and on the right hand side here, we go new and a new string value. The string value in this case, what we want to type in here is called auto run. Open up auto run, and here's where you can put in your values. So I'm going to show you something that I have done before. I've already got this saved in another document because I've used it quite frequently. So here's what I'm doing. I'm changing the title to say hello, and so you just need to put the ampersand sign. The prompt I'm going to put with these particular variables. So it's going to give me the date, the time, the default folder, and then the greater than sign. And I'm going to clear the screen because I don't want all of this stuff. You can see this Microsoft Windows version 10, etc. I don't want all of that on my screen. So I'm going to clear the screen and I'm going to change the color to 1.7. Now the 1.7 is foreground color and background color. So once we go OK here, and we close down that screen, let's bring up the command prompt again. Now you can see all of those variables that I just typed into the registry here. It's giving me the day, the time, the line that divides my date and time from the folder that I'm currently in, and it's also changed the color. And if you want to look at color, again, it's the same thing. We go color /?, and here are the variables. So I've chosen color 1.7, and as you can see, the first one corresponds to the background, so I've put 1 is blue and 7 is white. So if you wanted to change the color to, say you want black and gray, there we go. Here's the thing, whatever you change there is not going to have any bearing, because the moment we close and reopen it, it's going to put it back because of this registry value. You can simply delete this value if you don't want it anymore, if you want to go back to the defaults, or keep it there if you need it. But what you can do, if you just right click on it, just make sure when you're in the registry, double check that the key that you're on is the key that you actually want to work with. So in this case, make sure that command processor is highlighted, auto run is highlighted, then we right click and delete. Because I have seen people before accidentally delete the wrong registry value, and their entire system is hooped from that point onwards. So we'll delete that, close down our command processor, open it up again, and now we're back to the defaults. So hopefully this has helped you change your default. Just keep in mind, in a future video, I am going to deal with the Windows terminal, which is way more customizable in terms of a background image, in terms of colors, themes, so on and so forth. And it's definitely a lot friendlier than the old style command prompt. But you got to consider, this came out in 1987, so it is pretty old. Hopefully this has helped you folks. So until next time, take care, have yourselves a fantastic day. Bye for now.